Happy Friday, y'all. This is Falcons Daily. It's Falcons Friday. I am CG, your host. You see, I got my Falcons gear on, as you should too, on Falcons Friday. If you don't know, I am the voice of Elizabeth City State football in the CIAA and also the voice of Dominant Championship Wrestling. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me at Craig G Sports, CRAIG, the letter G, and the word sports. Fan Arch, their logo's in the top left corner. You can find them at Fan Arch Co. FANARCHCO. That's how you find both of us on social media as well. And shout out to all the folks at Fan Arch for powering this platform. Jalen Walker has not been on the field for a couple of games, and he's not trending in the right direction right now. He didn't play against San Francisco. Probably could have used his presence out there, but he did not practice again on Thursday. He's got a groin injury. That's what kept him out of the San Francisco game. He's also been ailing before that as well. I mean, he didn't play against. Actually, no, he did play against Buffalo, but again, we didn't see him on Sunday against the 49ers. And again, not trending in the right direction, did not practice on Thursday. If he practices Friday, I would say he's probably going to be a game time decision. But right now, way too hard to tell with Jalen Walker. Don't know if he'd be an IR candidate where he could miss 4 games, still come back because the Falcons are 3-3, and we still have 11 ball games left to play, including the Dolphins game. So. I mean, it's a possibility, for that. Also, I mean, Billy Bowman as well. Another guy who is looking like he may miss this Sunday's ball game. No practice for Billy on Thursday either, and both players are, not trending in the right direction when it comes to that. So that would definitely mean that we would have to see some of the reserve players step up in their spots again. We'd have to see more D. Alford in the slot. Perhaps a little bit more Arnold Ebiketie, but also, maybe more Leonard Floyd, maybe more Zach Harrison out there at that position, or Caden Ellis even lining up to rush the passer off the edge. It's hard to tell what they're going to do, but one thing's for certain is that we could use number 11 out there. And if it can't go, we'll have to figure it out like we did against the 49ers. Well, we didn't figure it out against the 49ers. We kind of got our butts whooped a little bit. But, Jalen Walker not trending in the right direction. I'm concerned about the groin injury, especially if he's not practicing again for a second straight week, and the Falcons are not going to be very forthcoming and very transparent on injuries and say, oh, well, it's the left side, the right side. He's going to miss 2 weeks, They'll probably give us the lip service on that, so we'll just have to deal with what we get. But again, pretty concerned about Jalen Walker and now, of course, Billy Bowman. Speaking of players with injuries, Jordan Fuller, Storm Norton, they are getting closer and closer and closer to a return from injured reserve. Both players logged full practices on Thursday. Wednesday was a walkthrough, kind of an estimate. They were listed as full then. They were full practice on Thursday as well. Also, don't be surprised if you see them not practice on Friday and be ruled out. We saw something similar to that with Taquan Graham before he returned from IR. So, but I think, of the 2 players, we really need, I think, Storm Norton would probably be the number 1 player of the 2 that we would love to see return immediately to help bolster this offensive line. I mean, heck, maybe even do some 6 offensive lineman sets in the red zone where you've got either Michael Jarrell or Elijah Wilkerson as the right tackle, and Storm Norton lining up as a tight end or something like that. I would love to see some stuff like that. The Falcons have got to get better in short yardage. So anything that can generate some push up front and keep Michael Penix clean, that's what we're going to need. Jordan Fuller, of course, we miss his presence in the safety rotation with DeMarco Hellams. But right now, I think our number 1 concern is getting points on the board, scoring points, and keeping the quarterback upright, which we didn't have the great success with against the 49ers. And speaking of scoring, we're having a hard time for whatever reason putting the football in the end zone again. We look at our offensive numbers. We're really doing good in a lot of different categories. We're 10th, in terms of, excuse me, in terms of our passing yards per game. We're 10th in pass yards. We are fourth in rushing. So we're doing good there. I mean, our total offense is not the problem. Average, over 30 minutes with the football. Um, you know, seventh in yards per game. We were seventh in total offense, fourth in rushing, 10th in passing, and you know, in terms of our third down efficiency, we're top 10 there as well. But when we get to the red zone, we just crap the bed. I don't know what it is. When you look at our points per game, when you look at our red zone, and that's touchdowns, we're looking at 44% in the red zone, which is good for 29th in the league. We're looking at not even 19 points a game. We are 28th in the NFL in scoring, 29th in red zone efficiency. And it's a problem. It's a major problem. And we need to get it fixed somehow, some way. When you ask around the building, they're going to tell you, hey, we're working on it. We're doing this. We just got to execute. Da 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 da. Zach Robinson spoke on it as well. He said we've had just two clunker games. We've had two just clunker games. You look at a 0 against the Panthers and a 10 from last week against the 49ers. And we'll be fighting an uphill battle with just points per game for the whole season based on those two bad games. We got to get those things off the tape. We've got to score more points. We've been a big reason why we haven't won those games. And I agree with Zach. I mean, it does come down to execution, I think. It also comes down to focus as well. You can't have false starts. You can't have too many men on the field, illegal motions or things like that. You've got to get lined up. You've got to get the play call in correctly. And then when all those things happen, you've got to get off the ball and win your matchup. I would love to see the Falcons use more power stuff down in the red area. Just talking about being a physical football team. Let's be physical in the red zone too. I don't want to see cute things with motion and all this stuff. I mean, I really hate seeing Penix or any of the quarterbacks in the pistol when we only need a yard. Let's line up and let's blow these guys the hell off the football. Give me some power football. Give me just straight at you. Hey, good luck stopping this because we're already going to do this kind of play type of stuff. I think there's way too much deception trying to go on, and sometimes things get a little too cute as opposed to being efficient and moving quickly. So I would love to see the Falcons maybe simplify some things in the red zone and be able to score some more points. 18.3 a game is not going to get it done. Not in 2020, not in 2025, not in 2024, probably not even in 1987. Now, looking at the trade deadline again, it is coming up. And the Falcons, hard to tell if we're going to be movers, shakers, buyers, or dealers, buyers or sellers at the trade deadline. But in my humble opinion, I think we need some help at either wide receiver or at cornerback. And a couple of players on my radar, we talked about Marvin Mims, we talked about Calvin Austin in terms of players who could be trade candidates as well. Looking at the Falcons, I mean, we could see Arnold Ebiketie walk out the door. I mean, Jeremy Fowler had an article on ESPN.com highlighting his top trade candidates. One player, I think, for the Falcons, which is a pretty intriguing player that I saw, was Reek Woolen from the Seattle Seahawks. He's got a little bit of interest around the league. He's a fourth-year player, 6'4". He would be a really, really big corner. Only problem with him, that folks have said about him is that his tackling can be a little inconsistent, and the Falcons are a pretty good tackling team. So interest could be there, but he'd be a pretty good fit for Atlanta if we look that way. Also, maybe even wide receiver again. We need some help. I mean, could you? I don't. what about I mean, if you want somebody who's going to help take the offense to another level, in terms of trade candidates, I mean, Jalen Waddle would be one of them, but we can't afford him. Even if we wanted to, we couldn't afford Jalen Waddle. But another wide receiver as well that could maybe even be someone that we could look at would be Jacoby Myers from the Raiders. Jacoby wanted to get a deal done. He couldn't get it done. He's got some size to him as well. And last year was 1,000-yard receiver, 6'2", big guy, and is he can run, can separate in man coverage. He's a fast guy, blow the top off of defense. If we made a move like that, hard to tell what we could do in the slot, because I don't know if Mooney would go to the slot or if you could even want to put Jacoby Myers in the slot, and that would be, probably a matchup nightmare for teams. But, Reek Woolen, Jacoby Myers, two players that I think are, possibly could be on the trading block. Woolen is, probably a better fit for the Falcons right now than Jacoby Myers would be. But with expiring contracts and things like that, that's the one player we could look at as well. Also, how about, maybe even Michael Carter from the Jets? I really feel like cornerback is a spot we can use some help. And we could look at a guy who used to be on Jeff Ulbricht's defense over there in Jersey. So yeah, Michael Carter, one candidate, Reek Woolen, another one, and then again on offense, we talked about Jacoby Myers. Those would be the guys that I would probably have my eyes on first and foremost. Also, don't forget about a Cam Taylor-Britt who used to be Jesse Bates' teammate with the Bengals. All right, everybody, we will cut it good right here, and we will be back this weekend to give you one more breakdown of the Dolphins game, what the Dolphins are good at, which is probably not a whole lot at 1-6, and what the Falcons need to do to win the ball game. We'll also tell you how to watch it and what the Falcons will be wearing, what the Dolphins will be wearing, and we'll be back with that for you most likely tomorrow. So until then, this is Falcons Daily. I'm CG. Sayonara and buenos noches.